educator at Bronson. I'm a health educator at Bronson. I'm excited for you all to be here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start our Beyond Food and Exercise, 8 other ways to improve your health. So today's objectives is we are going to learn what the definition of health is. We're going to discuss some tips that go beyond food and exercise that can help you live a healthier life. And then hopefully by the end of this session, you will be able to have a plan or make a plan and set a goal to do one thing that you learned in this session this week to help you on your journey of being the healthiest you can be. So to start off, I want to know from you all, you can either chat or you can unmute. I want to know from you all, besides food and exercise, what do you think healthy living entails? Feel free to type your answer in the chat box or unmute yourself. Mental health. Good. Yes, Mia. Thank you. And if you don't know where the chat box is, you can wiggle your mouse at the bottom of the screen, and then you'll see an option to chat. If you're on a phone, there should be a little dot, 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 and you'll be able to click the chat. Dot, dot, dot. All right, good. I see lots of sleep. I see rest. I see mental health. Yeah, good. Well, hopefully during this session, we can learn some more things about this. Time with family, finding fun, not smoking. Yes, these are all great examples. Social activities, good nutrition, relationships, social life functioning. Awesome. All right. So thank you everybody for sharing. Okay, so according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the definition of health is the condition of being sound in body, mind, or spirit. So today we're going to be talking about some different ways we can be healthy that encompasses all of those things. Okay. So we're going to be talking about a couple of tips that you can use to help you be the healthiest you can be. And then we're also going to be discussing some practical ways that you can implement them in your daily life to make them easier to be able to handle it. And then we're just going to hopefully get you on your journey of living your healthiest life. So the first tip for keeping a healthy life is to get enough sleep, which a lot of you shared in the chat, and that is awesome. Sleep is super important because it supports healthy growth and development, as well as supports tissues, cells, and it boosts muscle mass, and then it heals and repairs the body as well. It helps your brain to work properly, helps you to learn and problem solve better. So sleep is a really great thing that helps a lot of things in our body. Now, sleep hours vary from person to person. However, 6 to 8 hours or so per night is the norm for a good night's sleep, but it does vary from person to person. So if you're stressing out about not getting enough sleep, that's not going to help you be the healthiest you could be, right? So how can we do that? How can we have good sleep or get enough sleep? So the first thing we can do is we can create a relaxing sleep environment. And a way to do this is by keeping your bedroom dark and cool and quiet. Also, you want to stop or turn off your tech 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. And the reason is because exposure to those stimulating objects actually affects the body's level of melatonin, which is a hormone that regulates the body's internal. So definitely, if we can stop our tech, that means shutting off our TV, shutting off our phones, shutting off our tablet, which even includes a Nook. All the artificial light can be hard for us and help us not have that great enough sleep. So if we can turn that off about 1 to 2 hours before bedtime, we're golden. You also want to try and set a sleep schedule. So what I mean by this is being consistent with your bedtime and your wake up time. Does anybody here, feel free to type it in the chat or share verbally. Does anybody here go to bed around the same time each night? I'm just curious. Okay. Usually, yeah. Yes, good. Yes, most of the time. Awesome. That's good. Around the same time. Yeah, that's really, really great to hear. That's how I am too, as well. My husband likes to stay up really late, sometimes past like our bedtime, but I always am like, all right, on the dot. If it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock, I start to get really tired and about ready to go into my bed. So about the same time every night is a really, really great, great idea to keep your sleep schedule consistent. Um, by keeping your sleep schedule consistent, you are helping your body's internal clock to regulate. And also, it helps to separate your sleep time from different activities that may cause anxiety or excitement or stress. If we have a set time of going to bed, then we can know that at that time we look forward to going to bed. Another thing we can do is we can limit our naps. So, who here loves naps? I know that I do. However, naps can actually keep you awake at nighttime if you nap too close to bedtime. I don't know about you, but there's been a couple of times when I have just been so tired from the day that I'll fall asleep on the couch or something like that and take a little nap. And then when it comes to actually going to bed, I have such a hard time falling asleep. Does this sound familiar to anybody? You can type in the chat, or you can unmute yourself, or you can raise your hand too, if that seems familiar. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of people, yeah, that sounds very familiar. So by limiting our naps, we can reduce the chance of not being able to fall asleep too close to bedtime. So now power napping, it can help you get through the day, yes, but if you have a lot of trouble falling asleep, you want to try and eliminate those just to see if this helps. Someone says not since I retired. Okay, okay. Thank you everybody for sharing. All right, next thing is to partake in regular exercise. So when we exercise, it increases our total sleep time. Um, has anybody here ever had a really busy day, whether it's, doing a bunch of yard work or being very busy, on vacation and going from here to there and doing a lot of hiking and biking and, all those things that help you move your body. And then that night you sleep like a baby and you just fall asleep and you sleep through the whole night. Anybody have those situations? Yep, definitely. Yeah. So by doing physical activity, it actually helps to increase our sleep time. However, one thing I do want to know is that working out too close to bedtime boosts your energy levels and it raises your body temperature. So it can make it harder to fall asleep. So you want to do your exercises earlier in the day. Just to make sure that you can still, your body will come back to normal temperature and you'll, be able to fall asleep that night. All right, a couple of more tips for practical ways to implement getting enough sleep. Cutting the caffeine, other stimulants, and alcohol. Alcohol, caffeine, and actual large meals can disrupt your sleep and interferes with the quality of sleep. It can also cause discomfort and digestion. So just something to kind of keep in mind. We want to cut those caffeines, other stimulants, and alcohol, limit them, avoid them, etc., to help you get enough sleep. Also, winding down. Your body needs time to shift into sleep mode. So coming up with an activity that helps quiet your mind and puts you into a sleepy state of mind. This looks different for a lot of people. Sometimes that's reading a book. Sometimes that's journaling, whatever you need to do to wind down and help transition your body into sleep mode. Bedroom should be your sleeping space. So when you make your bedroom your sleeping space, it strengthens your association between your bedroom and your sleep. And also you want to omit activities in your bedroom that can cause stress for your bedtime routine. So really thinking your bedroom is where you sleep, okay? And then finally, taking notes. So keeping a sleep diary is a great way if it does not invoke stress. To help you just kind of jot down some of your thoughts. I know, like for me, I'll have a lot of thoughts kind of racing through my mind. So coming back to those thought streams in the morning by writing them down, that way you don't forget. And then when you write it down in your journal, you can just kind of push it off to the morning. Also invoking relaxation techniques to help clear your mind. A lot of people do body scans or meditation to kind of help them get to sleep. Um, so Diane says, if you have to stop all tech, including Nooks, what are we supposed to be doing before bedtime? So we are actually going to be talking a little bit about some hobbies later on in this presentation. So we're going to be talking about some things that we can do that do not include screen. So hopefully when we get to that side, it'll give you a couple ideas of some things you might be able to do before bedtime. Good question, good question. Okay, tip number 2, limit and avoiding alcohol. So alcohol has dependence producing properties and it can have negative impacts on your health. So alcohol actually plays a part in more than 200 diseases, injuries, and other health conditions. Some examples include some cancers, some cardiovascular diseases, some mental and behavioral disorders. So alcohol can really contribute to some of those things. However, your health outcomes are largely determined by the amount of alcohol that is consumed and how often it is consumed. But the less alcohol we consume, we limit and avoid it, the healthier we can be. By cutting alcohol or limiting alcohol, we are already helping our body be the healthiest it can be. So I know that seems hard sometimes. So hopefully I can give you guys some practical ways to implement. So if you do drink alcohol, a good way is to talk to your doctor to help you determine a limit. Definitely talking to your doctor. Different things have different medications for health conditions, etc. Can really kind of interact with alcohol. So that is something I cannot give you, but definitely talk to your doctor. If you do drink alcohol, talk to them. If you do not drink alcohol, you don't have to start drinking alcohol. Okay, so just if you do drink it, you want help from your doctor to determine your limit. If you do not drink alcohol, that's totally fine too. Now, another way you can avoid or limit alcohol is by not keeping alcohol in your home. You could also try some non-alcoholic drinks, or you can swap those alcoholic drinks with mocktail recipes. So I know that a lot of the holidays are coming up and a lot of people think that kind of correlates with one another. So if you're trying to limit and avoid alcohol, but still, want to, drink, that's because it's something you do, then you can try mocktail recipes, which are non-alcoholic drinks. And there are some really fun recipes out there that are completely alcohol-free, and they're still fun, they're still cute. So just to kind of keep in mind, to avoid alcohol if you can. And a great way to do that is through the mocktail recipes. At the end of this presentation, I actually do have a couple of mocktail recipes, so completely alcohol-free and great way to stay hydrated with these non-alcoholic recipes, and also they taste good, non-alcoholic. So just to keep that in mind. If you do drink, trying to set some alcohol-free days. So, by limiting and avoiding your alcohol, one way to do that is by setting alcohol-free days. So, maybe currently you drink a couple of times a week. Try scaling that back to 1 time a week, and then, completely not at all if you can. Watching out for peer pressure. A lot of times, like I was just saying, when you're around holidays and family and friends, there is a lot of peer pressure, and peer pressure is not just, for the younger generation. Peer pressure happens to all of us. So watching out for peer pressure when it comes to alcohol. If your goal is to limit and avoid alcohol to help make you the healthiest you can be, making sure that you have supportive people around you that will help you on your journey and not pressure you into drinking alcohol. And then I know that sometimes people will drink to cope with stress. And so finding healthy ways to cope with stress. So drinking alcohol is not a healthy way to cope with stress. So trying to kind of center yourself and figure out what you want to do to help you with your stress that does not include. And then finally, if a goal of yours is to completely avoid alcohol or limit it, don't give up and don't give up. If we all have setbacks every now and then, so just try to be persistent in limiting and avoiding it. So that kind of covers that. So for good health, we want to avoid completely or limit our alcohol intake. Okay, tip number 3. This one is my favorite, and this one is making time for things that you enjoy. So this encompasses the hobbies. So a hobby is an activity that you do for pleasure and during leisure time. Hobbies can be a lot of things, but some popular categories of hobbies include creative hobbies, athletic hobbies, and academic hobbies. You just want to make sure that the hobby you choose is enjoyable and meaningful to you. So actually, there was a study done from the Utah State University Extension discussing the benefits of hobbies. So a study that they did showed that 75% of participants who partook in a hobby reduce their stress levels, reduce the cortisol in their bodies. And this was after making art. So even if you don't consider yourself to be an artistic person, it still would work. That's still okay. The study showed that no prior experience was necessary to reduce stress. So finding an activity that you enjoy, that you can do during your leisure time, and making sure it's meaningful and enjoyable for you. Another study showed that by partaking in a hobby, it enhanced the participants' well-being. So engaging in these activities led to an improved sense of well-being and actually had a higher positive effect on their mood. So that's another just great way. I don't know about you, but I love it when I'm in a good mood. And so if I can do something that I enjoy that will also put me in a good mood, I call that a win. Um, Hobbies are also great because they can improve social connections. They can decrease anxiety and stress. And there are lots of health benefits to this. You can do hobbies on your own, or you can do hobbies as a group or in a team. This helps to increase friendship, support, connection, etc. So I know a lot of us right now are feeling not super connected. And so by joining a group that does a hobby that you enjoy, you can really kind of help that connect. Um, and then finally, participating in a hobby improves mental health. So hobbies that include physical activity have also been linked to many health benefits, including, again, reduced stress and a lower heart rate. So if you take physical activity outside and that's considered a hobby for you, there are also many additional positive benefits. So for me, I recently just found out that I really enjoy yard work, and I'm kind of considering that a hobby, which is kind of cool because not only am I being physical outside, physical activity, but also I'm doing something that I really enjoy. We just got a leaf blower yesterday, and I was outside for like 2 hours just blowing the leaves. So anyway, so making sure you're doing something that you enjoy. So a couple of ways you can do this is to try out different activities to find out what you like. So just like we have to try new foods to find out what we like, we got to try out new activities to find out what we like. Also, you want to look closely at the time that you spend on various activities. So many of us say we don't have time for hobbies because we don't have any free time. But many of us actually do have free time, but we don't use it super wisely. Mia said I have lots of leaves for you. All right, sounds good. I'll come on over. um, so, um, so I found this really cool calculator, which I can actually include the link to it when we send out the survey at the end of this class. But there was a study done. I can't remember what university it was, but someone there put together a calculator to figure out how much time on average people spend on various activities, work, commute, cooking, cleaning, those types of things. And then it calculated how much time you have in a week for free time. And a lot of people are actually quite surprised by it because it includes sleep time, commute time, work time, cooking and cleaning and all of that. And yet there's still actually so much free time that we don't realize that we have because many of us are not using it wisely. I don't know about you, but I can get super lost for hours on social media. And when I did this little calculator, it didn't include social media, scrolling or whatever. And so when I did this calculator, it said that I had 33 hours in a week for free time. And that is free time extra that I have that does not include sleeping or any of that. And so it was very, very interesting to see, okay, maybe I need to start prioritizing how I spend my free time, because to me, I do not feel like I have 33 hours of free time to spare in the week. So I'll send that calculator out if anybody's interested, because it was very, very interesting. Now, one thing I do want to mention that kind of goes with that is we want to ensure that screens do not become our hobby. So in this day and age, with technology, we've got TVs, we've got social media, we've got all these things that are screens, which unfortunately have become hobbies for many of us. So hopefully, yep, we're actually going to do that. That's perfect, Diana. Thank you. So we are actually going to do a quick little chat or unmute. I would like to know from you all what you enjoy doing. So what hobbies you have that you enjoy doing. And don't include screen time hobbies, just add something else that is not social media or TV related. Gardening, golf, painting rocks, cooking, craft, sewing, reading, walking and hiking. Oh, these are great. These are really great. Learning keyboard and piano, knitting, crocheting, yard work. Awesome, Martha. reading, cross-stitch knitting. Yes, awesome. Yarn work. Yeah, these are great. Reading, puzzles, gardening, freehand drawing. Oh yeah, there's so many hobbies out there. A couple of really good hobbies that kind of help reduce stress that I've, for my own self, I know everybody is different, but if anybody has ever done those coloring books that are designed for adults, so they're like harder than kids coloring books, they are super fun. Now some people get stressed out by that, but me, it actually was super relaxing to me, and actually something I was doing for a while before I was heading to bed. So it took me away from my screen and it had me focused on something else that was creative and that was fun, and just kind of helped me mindlessly color, which was really nice. So there are so many different hobbies we can do. Playing cards, word searches, learning an instrument or learning a new skill, painting, photography. I know that my grandma and grandpa, they're in their 80s and their hobby is playing card games. And I cannot even remember for how long that they have been playing card games for their whole marriage, basically. So instead of putting on the TV and all of those things, they'll sit at the table and they'll play a card game together. Let's see, what type of hobbies will also help with increasing social connections? That's a really great question, Diana. I would recommend searching for something that you enjoy and seeing if there are any groups in your area that get together and do those hobbies. So for example, if reading is a hobby of yours, finding a book club around you to help with social connections. I know, for a while people were doing some virtual book clubs, but with things kind of, people, kind of going into places and doing things now, that I know there are some places that do in-person book clubs now. Another thing is there's some, art studios around that have, classes that you can join, and that's a great way to increase social connection, learn a new skill, music classes. Those are all some really great ideas. So what I would do, Diana, if I were you, I would just kind of search for a hobby that I enjoy doing and seeing if there are any groups in my area that get together to partake in those hobbies together, which will also help you increase the social. A great question. All right, thank you so much, everybody, for sharing. It's super fun to hear what everybody is doing for hobbies, and hopefully that gave some others some ideas for hobbies as well that they might be interested in trying. Okay, so tip number 4. Boosting our brain health. So according to the Cleveland Clinic, mental exercise is just as critical as physical exercise in keeping your brain fit and healthy. So mental exercise may actually improve your brain's functioning, and it can help promote brain cell growth and can decrease your likelihood of developing some memory problems. So just like your muscles need to be worked and used, your brain also needs to be worked and used. So um, there is actually something that we have called a brain reserve, according to the Cleveland Clinic, that helps your brain to adapt and respond to changes to help resist damage. So if you continue to learn and embrace new activities and develop new skills and interests, you are actually building and improving that reserve. Some ways you can do this are going back to school, taking classes, getting a degree, working a challenging job, partaking in games that help kind of get our brain health going. So, Sudokus and crosswords and word searches, trying a new hobby, learning a new language, learning and taking up a musical instrument, doing puzzles. These are all some great ways that we can boost our brain health. I am curious from anybody, are there any new skills that you have learned, over the last couple of years that you are particularly proud of? Any new skills you've learned or any new things that you have done to challenge your brain and to help you, be the healthiest me? I'm just curious. Anybody? I know for me, I have a friend. I've not done this yet, but I would love to. I have a friend that has an app on her phone to learn a new language. Ooh, learning new Norwegian. Nice, Kim. That's really cool. And then teaching yourself how to play piano. That's great. And it's totally fine that you're still beginner level. It always, we got to get through that beginner level with anything we do, any new thing we do to be able to make it to the next step, right? Awesome. KBCC offers free classes for elderly folks. I did not know that, Martha. That is very cool. Thank you for sharing that. Learning to dance salsa. Oh, that's sweet. Wow, these are so fun. Oh my goodness. This is very, very cool. Oh, thank you everybody for sharing. Yeah, so these are some great ways that you can boost your brain health. You just want to make sure that you're finding something that you love doing, um, and just kind of try it, because you never know if you like something until you try it, right? Pickleball, aromatherapy, awesome. And then it looks like Martha is going to try and find the link for KVCC. So if anybody's interested in free classes, Martha she's going to try and put the link in the chat. Okay, great. Well, it's so great to hear that you guys are trying all these new hobbies and learning these new skills. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. That was very, very interesting. Okay, tip number 5. Okay, so wanting to make sure that we are up to date on all of our vaccines and annual tests. So if you need a flu vaccine, you can call your primary care provider or ask at the pharmacy. But making sure that we are staying up to date on these tests and vaccines. So preventative care is really important to make sure that we stay healthy. Preventative care is a really great way to help detect potential health issues before they even become a problem. And then seeing your doctor to figure out what you need personally to be the healthiest you can be. And then getting annual tests done is a great way to, check on health conditions, etc. So annual visits and tests and doctors can reduce your chance of getting sick. It can increase the opportunity of treatment and care. It can improve your health, and it can reduce your costs in the long run. And then by getting updated on our vaccines, it can reduce the chance of getting sick and or the severity of your illness. So there are lots of different tests that we can get tested for. So definitely speaking with your doctor on what you need for your current health status. And then it looks like Martha sent in the link or the search for what you to do. Michigan Reconnect, Kalamazoo Valley Community College, kvcc.edu. Thank you, Martha. So if anybody is interested in learning more about those classes, feel free to try out that link. Thank you very much. And then making sure we're doing our annual exams, our checkups, our visions, our dental, mammograms, etc. So lots of different things to make sure we are being healthy. All right. Tip number 6, making sure we are brushing and flossing daily. So according to Harvard Health, researchers have estimated that an toothbrushing was associated with a 9% lower chance of cardiovascular disease, and going to the dentist for professional cleaning at least once a year, but we do want to try and go twice a year, was associated with a 14% chance lower risk of heart disease. So by keeping our teeth healthy, we're also actually keeping our heart healthy as well. So we can keep our teeth and our heart healthy by making sure we're brushing and flossing daily. Make sure that you are changing out your toothbrush as recommended by your dentist, and then making sure that you're flossing. Okay, tip number 7, checking on our psychosocial health. So psychosocial health, according to the World Health Organization's definition, is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely just the absence of sickness. So making sure we are staying healthy both physically, mentally, and socially. And so there are lots of ways we can do that. One way is to taking 5 to 10 minutes each day to meditate or focus on our needs, a great way to improve our mental health. Another way is going out and getting coffee with a friend, or dinner, or just hanging out at the park on a park bench with our friend to help strengthen our relationships. Practicing gratitude. I don't know if anybody has ever practiced gratitude and if anybody want to share how they do that, but I do know a lot of people do this through a gratitude journal. Maybe just kind of taking a few minutes in the morning to think about and verbally say what you're thankful for. Does anybody do anything like that, practicing gratitude? I'm just curious if anybody has ideas of how they practice gratitude and if we could share it with others. Awesome. It looks like some people practice gratitude. That's really great. Yeah, I personally have used in November, I post daily on Facebook. That's lovely. That's so nice. Yeah, that's great. Anybody else? Do it every evening. Good. Nice. Taking stock daily for the blessings we have. Yeah, that's great. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Yes, practicing gratitude is a great way as well. Helping others, definitely. Oh, fabulous. All right, good. Thank you very much for sharing. Another couple of things, getting involved with local organizations or community groups that you care about. So this, could be volunteering and just getting involved. And then, determining your sense of purpose. So learning new skills, volunteering, exploring your spirituality. Those are all great ways to improve our psychosocial health. And then also practicing relaxation techniques. We mentioned a few in the very beginning, body scans, meditation. Those are all great ways for relaxation. Oh, these are beautiful. Thank you so much, everybody, for sharing in the chat. Oh, I love it. I love hearing about all these wonderful things to be thankful for. Thank you. Okay, we are almost there. But before we go on to our next tip, I want to know from you all through a poll on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being terrible or 5 being great, how are you feeling today? So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to launch a poll. If you've never done a poll before, it's going to show up on your screen and you can click the option that you agree with the most and click submit. And then it will show up on our survey results. These are all anonymous, so I have no idea what anybody's answering. So feel free to answer the poll. Okay, look, it's looking like a lot of us are feeling good today. That's really great to hear. All right, I'm going to end the poll now. Thank you for all of you that participated. These are our results. So it looks like most of us are feeling a 4 right now. So thank you, everybody, for sharing how you're feeling. I appreciate that. Okay. Okay. Another way to go beyond food and exercise and improve our health is to take care of our skin. So skin is a very important organ. It protects our vital organs from germs and bacteria. And it's really important to take care of our skin to keep it moisturized, to keep it hydrated, and to get enough vitamin C to make sure we're building up strong skin. Um, if your skin has a lot of cuts and breaks in it, you're more susceptible to germs and bacteria. So by making sure we are and in our vitamin C, we're helping to build up our strong skin. Um, so there are lots of ways that we can actually take care of our skin. So let's take a look at what those are. All right, so first and foremost, making sure we're protecting ourselves from the sun. You can do this by using sunscreen, seeking shade, wearing protective clothing and hats, those types of things, and making sure that if you are out in the sun and you're wearing sunscreen, that you're reapplying your sunscreen. So when we live in Michigan, we all know that the summers are wonderful and usually there's a lot of sun in the summer times, and then we get to the fall and the winter and the spring, and it just kind of depends on that year if there's a lot of sun. But interestingly, even if there is overcast, you can still get sunburned. So by using sunscreen all year round, you are helping to protect your skin. Another way we can protect our skin is to not smoke. So there are lots of benefits of not smoking, and one of the benefits of not smoking is the fact that it'll protect our skin. Avoiding strong soaps and detergents, making sure that we are patting our skin rather than rubbing on our skin, making sure we're moisturizing and eating a healthy diet that's full of vitamins, minerals, fruits and vegetables, managing our stress, and drinking water. So there are lots of ways that we can protect our skin, and our skin is a very, very important for keeping our bodies healthy. Okay, we got a bonus tip for you. This is staying hydrated. Water is super, super important. Drinking water keeps our body's normal temperature. When we're sweating, the water helps to keep our bodies at normal temperature. It helps to lubricate and cushion joints. Water also protects our organs and our tissues, and it keeps sensitive areas moisturized. It helps to get rid of waste. So water helps to flush out toxins out of our bodies. It aids in digestion and helps keep things moving smoothly through the body, and it softens our stool. And then it also can help maintain electrolyte balance. The amount of water you drink is different for everybody because everybody has different circumstances, sicknesses, age, medications, etc. So you want to make sure that you are speaking with your doctor about how much is right for you. And how can we implement drinking more water? I know some people struggle with drinking water, so hopefully these are a couple of tips on ways that you can drink more water. So one way is to carry a water bottle with you. That is one of my funny quirks is I have a water bottle with me no matter wherever I go. If I'm just running down to the gas station, it doesn't matter. I still have a water bottle with me. So while keeping a water bottle with you, you're more apt to drink it. Whereas if you don't have water, carrying water with you, then, also drinking water when eating out. So a lot of times when we go out to eat or during takeout, we'll order sodas or juices or anything like that. But one way to A, save on money, and B, increase our water intake is to order water when we're eating out. Now, if drinking pop or something like that is a special treat for you, like Chris and I always say in our classes that everything fits in your diet as long as you are doing it in moderation and balancing it. So if when you go out to eat, the only time you get a pop or a juice or something like that, I recommend also ordering it with the glass of water. So then you'll drink your glass of water and then have your one glass of pop if that is something that you do. Otherwise, if that's not something that that you need, then just choosing water every time you go out to eat. Also, adding in fruits, veggies, herbs, or spices. That's a great way to increase your water intake and also add a little twist to your water. There's some really fun, water infused recipes that you can find. This picture right here is very fun. What somebody did is they took water and then they froze melon balls. So they froze watermelon and cantaloupe and honeydew, and they froze them, and then they used them in their water as ice cubes, kept their water cold, and added a little nice flavor to it. You could use a tracking cup. So if that's something that will help you drink to, figure out this time of day, you want to get to this much water intake, that's a great way if you struggle with drinking water. Drinking water at each meal. And then making sure that you are filling up your water bottle or your cup once it's empty. So we can carry a water bottle or a cup with us. If we stop filling it up, then it doesn't really do much for us. So if you make sure to fill it up every time that it gets empty. And then setting a bite-sized goal. So a lot of times, Chris and I like to say that small steps lead to big rewards. So if drinking water is really hard for you, try to set a bite-sized goal to try and increase your water intake. Using a straw, using a filter, those are great ways to make water taste good and have fun drinking water. I know that I drink more water when I use a straw. I don't know why, but I just have noticed that when I have a straw in my water bottle, I continuously drink out of the straw. So something to keep in mind if you struggle with drinking water, try drinking it with a straw and see if that helps. And then finally, eating and drinking water-rich foods. Lots of the fruits and vegetables are really high in, are really rich in water. So of course, not only is eating fruits and vegetables good for us with the vitamins and minerals, but also can help us get to that hydration goal. And I think our last bonus tip is to avoid injury. So we can avoid injury by wearing seatbelts and bike helmets, using smoke and carbon monoxide detectors in your home, using street smarts if you're walking alone, using safety precautions at all times, making sure you're wearing good shoes and personal protective equipment, storing items in your home within reach, reviewing any medications you might be taking, and using assistive devices if you need to. So these are all great ways to avoid injury. And someone here says, I add fresh mint leaves and lemon slices to my water cup and fill it up a couple of times. Yes, that sounds delicious. That is a great water infusion recipe. Thank you for sharing. All right. So before I let you go, I want to know from you, what is one goal that you will set for yourself this week to improve your health from any of the things that we shared? You can unmute or you can chat. Implement some relaxation techniques, definitely. Drink more water, look for a new hobby, less screen time, more water. Yeah, these are great goals. Drink more water, good. Eliminate tech before bed, start a new craft project, walk more, park out and not by the door when you're running errands. Yes, that's a great way to increase our physical activity minutes too. And it's good for us. Awesome. That is really, really great to hear. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any questions, I'll be on here for a couple of minutes. Otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful day and join us on our next class. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Yes, Penny, I'll get those out. I'll send those out once we send our survey link out. Thank you for reminding me. All right. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a great day and I will see you next time. Yes, Vicki, this will be available online. We're going to post this recording, and also we are going to post an outline within a week or two on our website, which we will put the link to our website in the email we send out. Thanks so much. Bye, everybody.